you. I'm super happy to be first. So, I don't know if you guys heard, but they've started teaching consent in sex ed in Ontario. Did you hear about this? Okay, no, well, I'm informing you. You can take that home, tell your family. So yeah, they're starting to teach consent, and they've actually upgraded the entire sex ed curriculum. So like, while they used to only teach missionary, they now have like a lesson plan in like the shocker. And no, I kid. But they are now talking about like anal and sexting, and they've started talking about masturbation in the 6th grade, which is actually earlier than they used to talk about it. And of course, a lot of conservative parents are very upset about all of the changes. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like conservatives tend to be they have a great imagination in all the wrong ways, right? Like a rumor started circulating that teachers were gonna be demonstrating how to masturbate. And like conservative parents were very angry. And like, I don't know what, like, did they picture you know how teachers used to just like lean on a desk and give like, and that they would just, you know, and you stroke 2 to 2,000 times until a melted creamsicle falls out. And also, if I saw my 6th grade teacher masturbate, I would never masturbate. Also, but this is funny, so some parents are really pissed off, so they wanted to protest the new curriculum, so they decided to keep their kids home on the first day. They were like, no, you're not going to school, you're gonna learn things there that I don't want you to learn, okay? Why don't you go to your room and play by yourself? I don't think a kid learns to masturbate at school. I think they learn to masturbate at home, in their room, where they have all the school supplies they need in their pants, okay? Anyway, so the same imagination got crazy with the consent idea, because they're like, we're gonna start teaching consent in the 1st grade, okay? Which does sound a little weird, right? Like parents are like, you can't sexualize a 1st grader. Like, I don't know what they're picturing, like maybe like the kids get drunk on milk and have like a consensual orgy, or like, you know, they'll have like a pie and a banana, and they'll be like, the banana wants to go into the pie, but the banana has to ask, can I enter you, pie? And then the pie has to say yes. Like that's, and then the kid will be like, why does the banana want to go into the pie? And then they're like, you'll learn that in the 7th grade. But no, I think it's more like the idea of consent, right? So they'll be like, ask Sally if you can borrow her crayons. If she says yes, it means you can borrow her crayons. If she says no, it means she's a frigid bitch. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how the lesson plan works. But I heard a radio show, and there was a woman there talking. She teaches consent to children, and she was saying that the only, in her view, and in most people's view today, the only acceptable form of consent is an explicit yes. Okay? Yes! Okay, now, I thought back to all the times I've had sex, like 5,000 or like 12 or somewhere in between, and I'm serious, I don't think I've ever once in a sexual situation said, yes! I don't think I've whispered, yes. I don't think I've, like, unless the guy was like, do you want to get pizza after this? Yes! Like, maybe then. But in terms of actual consent, like, I would say, if I took inventory of all the ways I've given consent, I would, like, say it was, like, a combination of, like, light moans, kissing, and some giggling, you know? I think it was like, okay. I think that's a yes! Like, I don't. And she also says, she says you should check in with your partner, right? Which is good advice. And by the way, I just find this whole thing kind of depressing, because I think that they should teach consent. I think it's important, but I also think it's depressing that it's come to this, right? That they're like, well, apparently if we don't teach them not to assault each other, they're gonna assault each other. So, it's the 4 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic, and rape prevention. Those are the new lessons. Because, yeah, like, okay, so anyway, excuse me, okay, so, there's something, I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about before? I'm gonna lose the contest anyway. Just tell me what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. yeah. Okay, so the check-in, okay? So they're like, it's important to have a check-in. So if you're kissing your partner, stop at some point and say, do you like that? Do you like that when I kiss you? Which, I don't know. I know you're trying to sound like you're not assaulting me, but when you say, do you like that? Do you like that when it sounds assaulty. Do you know what I mean? Or at least creepy. That said, I've had some sex in my life where I could have used a check-in, okay? I'm gonna tell you about not the first time, but the worst time I ever had sex. And actually, the worst time, like it should have been the first time, but anyway. Okay, so the worst time I ever had sex, I was having sex with this man, you don't need to know the details, and he was what I like to call the jackhammer, okay? Okay, that woman moaned. So she's been there. But he was a jackhammer, which is like a very fast, rough form of a sexual partner. Okay, so he was the jackhammer. I was what I call the sidewalk, okay? And he had been hired, I guess, by the city to get rid of the sidewalk. And so, yes, I think I could have used a check-in, okay? I think it would have been nice if he'd said, do you like that? Do you like that when I break your vagina? Do you like that? I'm Rebecca Kohler. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.